Today we're going to find out that you can actually lose fat. Did you know this? You can lose fat
while you're sleeping.
while you're sleeping.
Yes, I did know that.
Okay, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to redefine what it means to thrive at any age? Welcome to Age is Just a Number with BJ and Ruth. In your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, you deserve to live your best life. Say goodbye to preconceived notions and let's shatter those stereotypes together. Get ready to own your vitality because age, well, that's just a number.
Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Ruth.
And we're back talking about health and fitness. And, as we just said, we're going to talk about today there are legit ways that you can lose fat
While you're sleeping.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk about those things today. And I want to preface everything by saying we're going to tell you what we know so far based on the science, not based on just a guess or just somebody said this was a good idea or whatever the case might be.
Right.
Okay. So let's start with understanding some things about what happens when we sleep. So when we go to sleep, essentially with little or no food intake, what does not happen is your body does not produce insulin.
Right.
And as a result, what insulin does is it stops your body from taking fat or using fat from the tissues. Okay. So as our body's not producing insulin in theory, then your body starts to burn more fat. Even though your metabolism is going to slow down because you're sleeping, you're still on a percentage going to burn more fat if we do this right. Okay, so we can increase fat oxidation, we call it. And overall, even though the amount of calories you're burning is down, the percentage of fat of those calories can go up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. So let's get right into it. And we're going to start with some do nots. Okay?
Okay.
Do not sacrifice your sleep to spend extra time in the gym or doing cardio.
No.
Right? Because here's what's going to happen. Let me read you this study. Okay? This is a study from the Journal of Sleep. And what they did was this was an 8-week study where they took two groups. One group was calorie restricted. Both groups had a calorie restriction. And one group was also sleep restricted. So the sleep restricted group had their sleep was at 5.5 hours.
Instead of the average 7.
Versus what the other group was.
Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So at the end of 8 weeks, here's what they found out. Both groups, because they were both calorie restricted, lost the same amount of weight. Okay? But wait for it. The group that was sleep restricted lost 56.5% less fat. So
that means they lost more muscle.
Correct. Which in the end led to that group over that period of time having a slower metabolic rate as time went on.
Right. Which
we understand muscle is what keeps your body burning calories at rest.
That's
okay?
Right.
So they had a result of that too. So that's a big do not. Okay, so do not give up your sleep time for extra workout time thinking it's going to somehow help you.
Right.
Right? It was like back in the day when you were cramming for an exam the night before.
And you study last minute, do an all-nighter.
Yeah. And you think somehow that's going to help you? Not so much.
No, you don't remember it anyways.
Okay, so then the number one thing is make sure you're sticking with quality sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to cover quality sleep again from a slightly different angle.
Okay.
But number 2 is you want to lower your carb intake after dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're eating before bed, which is in and of itself not bad, it still has to, everything goes back to macros and calories and numbers. So if you are going to eat before bed, in and of itself, not a bad thing if it fits all the other things we talked about. But one thing you can do is try to, whatever you're going to eat, stick with something that's higher fat, lower carb, and lower protein. What we're trying not to do there is we don't want to see insulin start to get produced by the body to deal with these things. So nuts, full fat yogurt, things like that, so that your body will handle those and not produce insulin
Right.
Because that's the thing, protein will still produce insulin, or your body will still produce insulin if you consume protein.
Yeah.
So that's an easy thing to do. Number 2, I want to talk about water consumption. Okay. So we know water is thermogenic. Okay. And the minimum that you should be consuming is 8 to 12 glasses. We've talked about that before, so we won't break it down in terms of trade-off for if you're drinking coffee, exercising, et cetera, those kind of things. However, what we want to watch for is water consumption before bed. So if you're going to consume a lot of water, try and wrap it up by supper or shortly thereafter, and not leading right up to bed. Because what happens when you drink a lot of water before you go to bed? It's not a trick question. What happens when you
got to pee, and so you wake up because
you wake up,
and there goes the sleep.
You wake up to go to the.
Why do you ask me those questions?
Was that a trick? It was not a trick question. So, but here's the thing.
You just wanted to hear me say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's what happens. When you wake up, you get out of deep sleep.
You're right.
Right? And then your body has to restart that whole process again. And it's when you get into deep sleep that your body starts producing growth hormone.
Right.
That your body starts oxidizing more fat. So we have to start that process all over again. So you're better served to have that water consumption. I'm just going to coffee consumption. You can tell how much coffee I drink. Coffee before bed is generally not a good idea.
Right.
But better served to keep the bulk of your water consumption up to and before or shortly after supper.
Right.
Okay. So that's number 3. Make sure your water consumption is good. Avoid the broken sleep. Okay. And number 4 goes right into that, which is increasing quality of sleep, or increasing quality sleep. How's that? Okay.
Yeah.
So we just talked about broken sleep. What happens after broken sleep is your body then shifts to more carb oxidation instead of fat oxidation. So you basically start the process all over again. Your body does.
Right.
Of getting you back to deep sleep and getting you in a relaxed state, and then the growth hormone, et cetera, et cetera. So just getting a good night's rest. And some things practically, we've done several episodes where we talked about the importance of sleep and how to do some things practically, good sleep hygiene and things like that. But just a couple of things I think that's worth bringing up here and adding here is blue light when it comes to sleep. And that's what
Our
gets...
devices,
our
that's
what
phones,
gets...
our iPads,
Right.
TVs, all that stuff.
Yeah. So limit your blue light intake, especially as you get closer and closer to sleep. Maybe a half hour before it's time for bed. Maybe an hour before it's time for bed. You start shutting down the technology. I know some people, they use blue light glasses, blue light blockers.
Right.
I've never used them, so I can't...
Never heard of them. Yeah.
I've never used them myself, so I can't speak to them from an anecdotal point of view, but my understanding is they are very helpful. If you know where I can get a good pair of blue light blockers, please put it in the comments, because I tried to order some from Amazon, and then it was 6 weeks later, they sent me something saying, we're not shipping these.
Not shipping these.
These aren't coming to you. So if you have a good blue light solution for us, please put it in the comments. That would really help me out here. Yeah. Okay. What else? Room temperature.
Cooler.
Okay.
Cooler is better.
Cooler is better for sleep.
Yeah.
So, easy numbers is 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Somewhere in that ballpark will help you have a better sleep. And I know there are times where I may have forgotten to leave the window open, because I sleep right under the window, so I open it all the way.
Yeah.
And I wake up in the middle of the night because this is really warm in here. For me, it's
yeah.
just the way I'm wired.
If you're warm, you're going to wake up.
Yeah. So.
And I think, I sleep with the window open, and it to feel that cool breeze.
Yeah.
It feels nice.
Yeah, I think it's just how you're wired, your metabolism's firing and stuff too. But so now here's another thing that's very interesting that can help your sleep is increasing your fiber intake. So that's maybe not with your first meal of the day, but as the day progresses in terms of your meals, you can increase your fiber intake with nuts, chia seeds, things like that.
Fruits, vegetables.
It's still all got to work in your macros, right? So just make sure that fits where you're going and what you're doing. Okay, Number 5, we talk about this a lot on this channel, is regular exercise. Mm-hmm. Regular exercise will help you have better sleep. Regular exercise also, when you're sleeping, will result in your body producing more growth hormone. Okay, let me read these stats out. Growth hormone increase of plus 49, this was from a study, plus 49% from low intensity workout and 65% and over for high intensity workout. So working out, we understand the importance of it and all the different aspects, but certainly we talk about the release of growth hormone and the things that happen while you're sleeping. Okay, and last but not least is meal timing. So again, just being aware of when you're consuming a meal that's higher in carbs and higher in protein as you approach time for bed, because those things are going to result in the insulin spike because your body's processing that, right?
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it.
That's a wrap. So that's the good news is we can lose fat while we sleep. So
The key is sleep.
so we just need to do those things, a couple of those things, and put them into practice, and we'll start to see those results. Hey, if you're watching and you haven't, please take a minute, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. And if you didn't know, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Play, so you can catch us and Podbean as well, so you can catch us while you're on the road or wherever you're getting us from. But thank you for that. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.